Got to win, somebody's got to lose. I might as well get over the blues. Just like fishing in the ocean, there'll always be someone new. Who's done better? You did me wrong, but I've been through stormy weather. The beat goes on. Just like my love, everlasting. Oh, and the beat goes on. Better believe it. Still moving strong. On and on. Don't stop for nobody. This time I keep my feet on solid ground. Now I understand myself when I'm down. Like the sweet sound of hit music, there'll always be something new to keep the tables turning. Hate can sing the song, but there'll never be an ending. It goes on, just like my love, everlasting. And the beat goes on, still moving strong. On and on, the beat goes on, the beat goes on, the beat goes on. The beat goes on, the beat goes on, the beat goes on. Guitar playing that feel to show the beat is real. Girl, you did me wrong, but I've been through stormy weather. The beat goes on.
So we're going to be talking about Paris in a moment or two because it has gone into lockdown, okay? So we will talk about France's lockdown in a moment, but first, I want to make a little apology, okay? So cast your minds back to last weekend's show, and I said to you all the clocks go back this weekend. It wasn't next weekend, next weekend, so this weekend. It wasn't this weekend, the week of the 31st, it was actually last weekend, so I do apologise. I did mention it after my advert on the show, but I just want to make an apology to all my viewers about the clocks going back. So it's not this weekend, it's last weekend. So if you took my info about the clocks going back this weekend, it's not this weekend, it was last weekend, so yes, I do apologise about that. So, we're talking about Paris's lockdown now, okay? And, well, there's been not just lockdown, but there's also been lots of traffic all around Paris. I mean, there's not really much things we can say about that, is there? But, jams have stretched 430 miles, 700 kilometres in the La France, in the region in early on Thursday morning, which is Thursday this week. Now, measures came into force at midnight on yesterday last night, and a tackle of the COVID infections. People have been ordered to stay at home in Paris, but experts have essential work for medical reasons. Do not travel unless if you've got medical reasons. Now, people have been ordered to stay at home except for essential work or medical reasons. President Emmanuel Macron said the country has risked being overwhelmed. by a second wave that no doubt they will be harder than the first. Daily COVID-19 deaths in France are at the highest level since April, and on Thursday this week, authorities have reported 47,637 new cases and 250 new deaths. French media report that many Parisians have left the city, and they're often have cramped apartments to spend lockdown on the countryside. Now, Anna 24 told RFI newspaper that she had left her family's Paris apartment for their second home in Barnley, which is in northern France. She said that spending the first lockdown in Paris was very hard, but in Bernay the air is cleaner, which is true. Where they all breathe and they all feel free to do whatever they like in the countryside. But some travellers may have also been Parisians in returning to the city after holidaying elsewhere in the country during a French school holiday, which ends, of course, this weekend, which is All Saints' Day. Now, heavier than usual traffic and long toll breaks were also reported around the major cities online and broadcast in the hours before the lockdown came into force. The traffic jams are a replica of the urban exodus that happened in March ahead of France's very strict national lockdown at the same time. But they were also asking people to stay at home and Parisians to stay in Paris. You can understand though that, can't you, that 4,000 people from Paris have invaded the 1/3 of them which are infected without knowing, obviously, that it risks is spreading rapidly, and wrote one commuter in the local Southwest paper. Now we've got someone talking here. Let's have a little listen, okay, and see what this lady has got to say.
It's kind of hard to think that once again we'll just be stuck at home.
We're all prepared, so it's going to be more easier.
I would really wish that I can meet my friends.
Okay, so what they're talking about here is you've got people talking from France. They're French people, and they're talking on the computer, saying what lockdown in France is actually like for them, especially them at universities as well.
Life, because after work I could go see my friend and go to a bar, and we were having after work drinks, and I think it's that which is hard, because we thought that we'll live with the virus, and now they're no, stay at home again.
There's rules in France, okay, and you can only leave home for essential work or medical reasons. All non-essential businesses have to shut. Schools and factories can remain open.
Honestly, I feel worst about it, because the first one was really hard, to go through, for me, mentally, and everything. I didn't know what to do. I lost my job before it, so now it's winter. I won't be able to celebrate Christmas with my family, and for me it's a really important time. My school year, I think it's important to live your student life, have parties and stuff, and I'm I don't know, for me it's too hard.
Me and with my family, my brother and sister, so it's not really hard, and we have social media, so we can talk to our friends. But it's quite hard to not going out, to not having drinks, to not have fun. So
if you can't see your friends, you can't go outside. It's boring.
So President Macron said the lockdown will remain until at least the end of next month.
They said it will be for 2 weeks, and then it was 3 months. So will it really be 1 month?
Mentally, I'm prepared, but the uni is prepared too, because we are prepared to work at home, because we used to do what we can do. We just have to stay home and wait.
So my name is Nicholas. I'm 17 years old and currently living in Germany.
There are new rules in Germany as well, but bars and restaurants have to close except for takeaways. Schools and condiments can remain open. Social contacts will also be
It is
remain.
really frustrating, because I can see my friends in school, but I can't do anything with them after school ended for the day. I'm just sitting on my village all alone. I can't just meet them. So I'm just sitting in front of my PC, making it really hard to have contacts with all of my friends.
Okay, so they're basically talking about what their life is like at university during lockdown, and during the first COVID, they have, however, certain regions of France, Paris, and North East in particular were all being badly hit when the lockdown was imposed, and while other areas had comparatively few cases. But this time, officials have said the virus is spreading fast all over that country. Now, meanwhile, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said that Brussels had set aside in order to transfer COVID patients from hard-hit member states to other nations with spare hospital beds. She also called for European Union countries to pull their coronavirus data and urged them not to close their borders to each other. But she also said that we don't encourage travel now, and that people in Europe should only be embarking on trips to other states if they were essential. But during a video call with EU leaders, the MS von der Leyen also said that work should now begin on preparing the instructions for a massification programme to be ready for when vaccines do improve there. And if you want any information on that, you can always go to a news website, and all the details on there will be there. There's one more piece of news that I do want to talk about on the show right now, if I can find it, and that is, I think it's got something to do with it defends the Corbyn suspicion from Labour. Are we going to talk about that, or should we talk about Sky cancels carpentry service to shop over tattoos, which we will talk about now. There's a programme on Sky, which is a TV carpentry contest, CHOP, after an investigation into a contest of face tattoos, for that they could be contacted to far-right ideologies. The first episode aired earlier this month, but the rest of the series has now been cancelled. We don't know why. But the participant was accused of having phrasal symbols on his face, but he does deny that they have any each meanings. The Sky History apologised and said it was thoroughly renewing and its processes on there. And the statement said that A&E UK, which runs the channel, and had made the decision not to broadcast any further episodes of the CHOP on Sky History following an independent investigation. It also said that contestants' tattoos include symbols that could be connected to far-right ideologies and could cause offence, and it would sincerely apologise for that, and they were all sorry that the processes did not prompt further investigation at an earlier stage. The contestant continues to strongly deny that he has had far learnings and were seriously reviewing the individual process following an investigation. The Sky History had stand against racism and hated speech of all kinds. Okay, we'll leave that there. And all I'm going to say is, though, going back to the story about Paris in lockdown, was it the one we talked about just now? Yeah, it was. All I'm going to say is, if you're in an area that is safe at this very moment, do make the most of whatever you do, okay? Because you never know, in a few weeks' time, we could all be in another lockdown. We just don't know what's going to happen. No one knows what is going to actually happen, but we may find out very soon. No one really knows. So, if I was you, I would just go with the flow, see what happens, and then if we do go into another lockdown, then who knows, okay? Who knows? So, one more very quick story then. Let's see if we can find one more story to talk about, because I wanted to say that there is a live piece of news going out right now, and I just remembered about this because the National Democrat nominee Joe Biden, I remember this now, has led ahead of the Republican of Donald Trump, but it's not just without winning the popular vote, okay, because the candidates have to secure the individual stories, and I have read this because I read this morning before we actually came on air, so I know all about this story anyway. So if you want any other stories about that, you can always go on the news website about that. Now, one more piece of story. Let's think. Are we heading into another lockdown is the question that everyone's wondering, because we spoke about this every week and we all don't know at the moment. And ministers are striving to avoid blanket rules, and it does come and calls for some scientists to introduce a strict national lockdown in England, but nobody knows at this very moment. So we'll leave all the stories there for today. Right, that's all we got time for on the show today, because I'm going to be back now next Saturday from 10, but until then, have a wonderful weekend, whatever you are doing. There's going to be an interview coming up sometime this weekend, I think, with my great aunt Val. We'll keep you updated about that I think it'll come out tomorrow sometime, or Monday, or whatever. We'll let you know about Great Aunt Belle's interview. But until we meet again next Saturday, it's going to be November next Saturday. October's been great. Bring on November is all I can say. If you are celebrating Halloween today, enjoy, stay safe, follow the rules, and you'll be cool. See you next Saturday from 10. Take care. Bye for now.